Hey everybody, hey, it's me, and I don't have a trumpet in my hand right now. I'm out in the vehicle where it's nice and quiet, and that's all right with me for right now because what I have on my mind is something that is really bothering me. I'm so sick and tired of the racial bitterness and the divide that we have in our country. I can't go back and change yesterday, neither can you, and I'm sorry for that. I'm not God. I can't do impossible things, but I can do with what is right now. And I'm so tired of hate groups. I don't care what the hate group is. There's a lot of groups out there on both sides that I think are hate groups, but six one way and half a dozen the other. If you don't like another man, the problem's not with the other man, the problem's with you. I may not like the actions of another person, but man, I'm here to tell you I am to love them. Man, where is the decency in this world? Where is the human element in this world? We like to, we're straining at gnats and swallowing camels. There's not a pure white person anymore, and I can promise you there's not the pure black person. There's not. And even if there was, what does it matter? I mean, for real, what does it matter? I just want to trace my lineage back to the cross. I want to trace it back to Jesus. I want to find myself, being different. Whenever I accepted Jesus Christ, I became a different man. I became a man that God had took away anger. God took away temper. God took away ego. God did these things, and he had to because I wasn't perfect. I promise you that. This racism thing is bothering me. I have a family God has blessed me with. And I'm going to tell you something about me. I could not biologically father children. I would not deny my wife a family. So thus, we did is we adopted. And we adopted kids from, let's just say, not very savory conditions. Their lives would have been totally, I don't know what they would have been, and that bothers me, even the thought of that, the threat of that. But you know what? I have one daughter. You can tell by looking at her that she is not white. Does that bother me? Get yourself to the point where you want to have a family. Then all of a sudden, man, are you so egotistical that, wow, you're not going to, you just do without because of a different color? Man, what does color got to do with it, man? This bothers me. Did I have to do some changes in my life? I sure enough did. You know what? I've grown up in the South. I know what it's like to be Southern. I know what it's like not to like other people. I know what it's like to not be liked because I'm white. I know what it's like. Remember, this stuff's getting old. My daughter, and I shouldn't even have to say all this, her being African American or black or what have you. She's black, she's Asian, and she's Caucasian, and she is beautiful, and she is what we prayed for. I have a son. His name's Binion. He's 16 now. Good looking young man, and God has touched his life, and God's doing some great things with this young man. Such high moral standards. He couldn't have got it from us. I mean, naturally, we just have to keep living for God the best way we know how. But we were told when we were going to adopt him that he was going to be biracial, that he had a mother who was Caucasian and a father who was black. You look at my son, he's got straight black hair with some red in it. That's kind of funny. And he's got a tan complexion. He looks like he could either be Indian, American Indian, or he could be of Spanish descent, but doesn't matter. But I sat him down when he's 4 or 5 years old. I said, hey, yo, Binion, I wanted to prepare him for some things because we live in a horrible world. We live in a world that just wants to judge and point fingers and hate. And I shouldn't have to prepare my kid for something like that. It's horrible. But man is just a fallen creature, man. We got to get raised back up. We got to get back to the cross. But I said, Binion, how about if you're, let's say, hey, Binion, how about if you were black? Does that matter? Binion, how about if you're Mexican? Binion, hey, how about if you're an American Indian? Binion, how about if you're white? How about if you were German? How about if you're Scotch-Irish? That's what I am. Binion looked at me 4, maybe 5 years old, little bitty guy, but wise beyond his years, because he taught his dad something that day. He said, "I'm just a boy, Dad. I'm just a boy." Wow. And so I can take pictures of my little family, and I don't have a black and a white family. I have a family. I have what God has seen fit to give me. He has blessed me with them. They are not something that I count as a burden, as a yoke around my neck, as a millstone around my neck. I count them as mine. They're my contribution to this little corner of the planet. I don't care if people like it or not. Yeah, sure, it was different whenever we brought little Eden home and she started walking. And it was neat to see a little bitty girl of color in what at that time had been a predominantly white home. Seeing her rip her diaper off and run around seeing a little black hiney in a white person's home, it was funny. And whenever her and her sister, that's roughly the exact same age, just a couple months difference, they'd get in the tub. You know, they're standing waiting to get in. You got the brightest colored hiney and the darkest little hiney side by side there. Now that was cute to me. That was God doing something in my life. And now I don't see my Eden as anything else other than my daughter. I love that girl. I love her sister Ainsley. I love my sons, all 4 of them. Brandon, Bradley, Binion, Bo. I love them. Eden and Ainsley, my daughters. I love them. I don't care what color they are. I don't look at that. I took a picture the other day and it was black and white. I said, this photo's black and white, but my family is not. So, look at King David. God looked at his heart. Man looked at Saul, thought Saul's really something. He didn't turn out to be a giant killer now, did he? He was a head taller than any other man. God looked down at David's heart. There was a mighty man of valor in Gideon who was hiding. God sees things. You know, the Bible says he knows our frame and he remembers we're but dust. I'm going to remind you something, just in case you get an ego. God could have chosen to make you out of diamonds, but he made every one of us out of dirt. You have feet of clay, just as I do, and just as the black person, just as the Spanish person, just as the white person, the American Indian. I hate it that things have gone on in the past. It made even the Irish. Man, we were even slaves at one time too, and treated wrongly. Man, you can't find a group of people on the planet that were done right. And I hate it. I hate it for our brothers and sisters that are of color. I hate it that they were so mistreated and horrible things that went on in our nation. Man, but I'm here to tell you, we better start loving each other, regardless of if there's even a color there. God have mercy on us. Hate groups. We shouldn't have to tell people. We should not have to educate people on whose lives matter and whose don't. We shouldn't have to say a blue life matters, a black life matters, a red life matters, a white life matters. We shouldn't even have to say, unborn babies' lives matter. Those things should be instilled with us from our parents. Man, but there's been a communication gap somewhere. There's been a disconnect somewhere. Man, the train has derailed, man, and we're a locomotive about to crash into the side of a mountain if we don't watch it. Our nation is a powder keg. I don't care who you voted for. Understand this. Not this election or the elections past. It shouldn't stop us from praying for our leaders and all this other stuff we want to say and do, and man, get over it and just the change has to come with you. The griping, the belly aching, the being bitter, and all this stuff. You raise a fist and shake a fist all you want to, but you better love your common man. And if we can do that, if we could love our neighbors, Jesus said, if we would love them as we do ourselves, greater love has no friends than if a man would lay down his life for his friends. Greater love has no man. Jesus said, you're my friends if you do what I tell you to. Love one another. Jesus died for y'all. So, man, choice is up to us, and it's simple. Maybe this is a rant. Maybe this is a tirade. Maybe this is me being ugly. Brother Mike, oh man, you're a preacher, dude. That doesn't mean a thing. Mankind, man, we should have a love for somebody, man. Not the color of skin. Man, it's the weight of a soul. The value of a soul. You tell me how much a soul is worth. I'm not going to get into the statue debate. I'm not going to get into any of that stuff. I'm getting to the root of it. Somebody has a bitter heart somewhere. Somebody's been broken somewhere. Somebody is disconnected. Somebody has a fuse that's blown. That we would get on our faces before a living God. You know what? I hate it that my little daughter has to put up with racially motivated things. People saying things about her. The fact that I have to explain to her those things. My Lord, how far have we fallen? We keep falling in the same grave. That's just a rut with both ends knocked out of it. We're not getting out of it. We get our head maybe just above a level enough to get air. We got ourselves up to oxygen level, and then we fall back into the mire like a sow. You want to go bathe a pig, she's still going to go back to the mire. Lord help us if that's all we are, if we're no better than swine. God have mercy on me if I hate another man. See, if I hate another man, I can't make heaven. That's my belief. That's my religion. That's my relationship with God. If I hate somebody, man, that doesn't make heaven. So I have to get over myself, and I better love somebody. Best way to love them is not tell them, is to show them. I challenge you. From the pulpit down to the pew, outside the church doors. Man, not everybody lives for God. Not everybody says Jesus is Lord. That's different than me. But I still have to love that person. You and I, we don't have to agree on everything. But we better come together as humans, because we're living in a powder keg society. Somebody willing to light that fuse. People do stupid things anymore. They don't think things out, and when they do think, they're so misguided and misdirected. It's the blind leading the blind when it comes to that. And this is not a political thing at all. This is just the state of humanity, the state of our hearts and our souls. I'm sorry this is so long. It'll probably take it forever to load up here on Facebook. I'm not good at blogs. I'm no more wiser than you are. Maybe it seems like, oh, Mike, you're being mean. Maybe I am. Somebody has got to tell somebody. Somebody has to tell somebody that they're wrong with this. And we can be right. See, I'm okay and you're okay. If we don't watch that too, man, that can get so messed up, man. Then we don't start telling people, hey, your hatred because of their skin color. I don't want to get involved in that. Somebody better get involved, because, man, something's going to happen. I'm not going to call gloom and doom down on our nation, because I do believe that our nation still has a remnant that loves God. But these are sobering times. And trust this guy whom you may think is ill-educated from Oklahoma. But I'm not just a corn-fed country boy. I'm a child of God, and I feel it incumbent on me as a child of God to just let you know that it's my job to love you and nothing else. I don't have to approve of you. I sure don't have to judge you, because that's not my right. But I do need to love you. So let's help each other out, and let's try loving one another. Oh, Brother Mike, or for those of you that don't call me Brother Mike, oh, Mike. That sounds corny, man. I'm a dude, man. Okay? I'll try loving you, dude. Alright? Give it a shot. Just see what happens. See if we can do something great in America. Not because of a campaign slogan, but because of the greatness that's in every American, the greatness that's in every one of us, just waiting to come out. We're letting the bad side show. I wonder what could happen if the good would show in this nation. Wow. We sure wouldn't be a laughing stock with any other nation now, would we? Let's be an example.